today my name is Margie Cole and we will be making an appetizer of spinach balls. So before we get started, the most important thing is to wash our hands. So make sure that you clean your hands, 20 seconds total. And then we want to preheat the oven to 375 and get some water boiling. So the first thing we need to do is prepare our spinach. Spinach is full of water, so it's actually really great to get some of your water in your diet. However, for this recipe, if we don't pre-cook the spinach, it's going to leave our spinach balls soggy. Don't want that to happen. So I have a bag of spinach. We need 6 cups fresh. You can also do this with frozen spinach and it actually would be less work. So if I had to rewind and rebuy spinach, I would have bought frozen spinach instead of fresh, but either way it will work. So to prepare our spinach, you'll want to pull the stems off of the spinach leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that while our water heats up to boil. Alright, so I think we have what would be enough spinach here with the leaves pulled off from the stems. So we're going to go ahead and place this into our boiling water. Push it down with our spoon. So we need 3 large eggs. If you choose to use egg whites, I would do double, so 6 egg whites. And we will whisk these together. Alright, and then next we need a half of a cup of mozzarella cheese. If you have any other cheese blend on hand, that is going to work just fine as well. And we are using panko breadcrumbs. I saw that there was another one there that had Italian seasoning in it. You could probably use either one if you want a little more flavor or don't want to add any herbs to yours. You could choose the other one. And we're doing a whole cup of breadcrumbs. And then lastly, we're going to add our spices. The recipe calls for any type of herb that you have in your pantry, like basil, oregano, dill, or even parsley. So feel free to choose what you have already, but really we only need a small amount. I'm actually going to do this visually because the recipe calls for parsley and it calls for a lot of fresh parsley. And the flavor of parsley is very muted compared to other seasonings. And then we also want to put in a teaspoon of garlic powder. We're going to just do a dash of salt over top. If you want, you can also add pepper to it as well. Okay, I think our spinach has been sitting. Okay, so I've grabbed a strainer and paper towel. going to basically just strain out the spinach. Okay. So after we have our spinach out, we're going to dry it and take out the moisture so that we don't end up with soggy spinach balls. So we'll add the spinach to the rest of our ingredients. And then what we're going to do is stir this until it becomes like a consistency that we can turn into a ball. Excellent. So this is the consistency we have here. That looks great. We'll be able to mash that into some spinach balls. So we're going to clean up a little bit and get a cookie sheet ready. So if you have parchment paper or baking paper, you can line your cookie sheet with it. Otherwise, you can always use some sort of grease on the pan so that they don't get stuck to it. I like to use olive oil. Alright, so we're going to take our mix and make it into a ball, and I would say probably like a golf size ball. So see, I just kind of tried to roll it and it separated a little bit, so we can also add a little bit more panko to this to dry it up just a little bit. Alright, our spinach balls are ready to go into the oven at 375 for between 20 and 30 minutes. We want them to be nice and golden on the top, and the cheese will obviously be melted into it as well. So here we go.